Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to cover two questions and we're going to talk about the new Dashboard Confessional CD. I've got this up, so let's just talk about this. I'm a longtime DC fan. I've been listening to them since freaking, man, I don't know, was it 2000? Something like that. This is a good effort. It is 9 songs and it's under 30 minutes. You know what? That's kind of crap. I gotta be honest. That's just irritating. And if you like classic Dashboard stuff, a lot of the acoustic stuff, there is one song on this record that is acoustic. Otherwise, it is all electric. There's some very Imagine Dragons sounding things. It's very pop, a lot of vocal. I mean, I like the effort overall. I don't know. I'd probably give it like a 3.5 out of 5, to be honest with you. It's a good disc. If it goes on sale, you know, I'd pick it up $5-6. I don't know that I'd pay $10 for it. Like I said, it's 9 songs. It's under 30 minutes. It's a good listen if you like Dashboard. And if you don't, then just ignore that. So let's get to the two questions. So we're going to talk about Marshall amps and we're going to talk about Friedman amps. Let's go Marshall first. The new DSL20 against the Mini Silver Jubilee. They are both Marshall amps and they sound like Marshalls. They are just different versions of Marshall amps. Really depends on what you need. Both can get loud as I wouldn't have any issue using either one of those amps in a band setting. I'm sure you will be fine if you have a 412 or a couple 212s. You'd probably be even okay with a 212. They can get super loud. The Jubilee is made in the UK. It's actually nicer, you know, aesthetically. It looks and feels, you know, more hefty. The DSL feels a little more cheap. It's made in Vietnam. I mean, it clocks in at $500. I mean, I don't know what people expect, but I think it's actually a really cool amp. I've done some comparisons, versed them up a couple times. You know, the first video was kind of like a gain test. Didn't use a lot of the other controls. The track I released last week, it's more of a rockier tune. You know, that Reverend guitar is a little different from other guitars because of the bass contour and things, so it sounds a little different. And what I would do in a mix isn't necessarily what I would do in a band setting or just kind of fooling around in the studio and playing. So the EQ, you know, will vary. Presence controls are going to vary by the room and what you're doing. But really, I'm going after trying to set the EQ at how it fits in the song so I don't have to do a lot of post EQ, because if I set the amp up one way and let you see it and then I do a bunch of post EQ just so it sits in the mix, is that really helping you? Probably not. I mean, it wouldn't help me any if I was watching videos, and I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I have a deal with Marshall. You know, I don't get anything for doing this, so it's just kind of like one flavor of that amp at that time. I think I'm going to do another one. Someone asked if I could do a different kind of tunes. So the last thing I'll say is that the Jube has a little more sag to it. It's much more old school rock. But man, if you drive that output master and the input gain, man, does that get like freaking, it's amazing. Glorious. So I think for the next track, I'm going to push it as far as it'll go. Maybe with some greenbacks. I don't know yet. We'll see. Stay tuned. Based on that request, I'm sure I'll do another video here shortly and come up with something new. So the other question is about Friedman amps. More based on the minis. So looking at the Dirty Shirley Mini, the Runt 20, and the Pink Taco, which is not really a mini, but it's a 20 watter. So those 320 watters. Quick personal experience. Wanting to get into the Friedman market, the Runt 50 was a great choice to go used, and I got that amp, and to be honest with you, I love that amp. It's got great cleans, very transparent effects loop. The dirt channel is great. I boost it a lot, the internal boost, just because I think it sounds better, but hey, to each his own. It's a very bright sounding amp. And then I thought, oh, you know what? I really want to try a Dirty Shirley. I want to get a mini. And it just worked out that a buddy was selling the head and the cabinet. And I thought, oh, awesome. Worked out a deal with him, so thanks. Dirty Shirley line is totally different than the Runt. The Runt is more modern. The Dirty Shirley is like 60s, 70s rock and roll. It's very polished. It sounds great. I wish it was a 2-channel amp, but it's only a single channel. After that, I knew I had to get a small box, and I knew the BE50 Deluxe was coming out. Price difference was huge. So I lucked out and got a small box at a great used price. Freaking awesome too, but that nails more of the 80s type tones. Very plexy. It's very different. So I would think that the Pink Taco is more in the range of the small box and also the BE and the Runt. Kind of in that range. And the Dirty Shirley is going to be more 60s, 70s rock and roll. I think for what you want to do, either the Runt is going to be a good choice or the Pink Taco. I would narrow it down to those two. And to be honest with you, for a 2-channel amp, the Runt would be the way to go. From what I hear of the Runt 20, the Runt 50, they sound very similar, even though these run on EL84 tubes instead of the EL34 tubes. But apparently they sound great and sound very similar overall. So my pick would be the Runt 20. If you want the wattage and you can score it, go Runt 50. It is a fantastic amp. I like that amp a lot. Hope that answers your questions. If you have any more questions or just other questions or comments or requests, just leave them below. Hit me up, message me. Appreciate all the likes, shares, views I get. So take care, guys. Have a great week. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.